This teen mum's life was changed forever when neonatal nurse Katrina Mullen cared for her triplets in intensive care.
I knew this backstory, that she was a young mom, and I just thought, man, how hard that would be. I didn't have my own mom, so she was basically the only person I had.
The pair kept in touch long after Shariah left the hospital, and when the 14-year-old faced losing her babies to social services, Katrina stepped in.
I volunteered to take them into my home because I didn't want her to be separated from them.
Despite already being a single mum of 5.
How did you even have the bandwidth to say yes to that?
I didn't. But I always say my heart is bigger than my chest can hold.
Katrina's generosity has given Shariah the chance to get an education and work towards paying it forward as a social worker.
I just want to show people that even if you're a mom, that you can still achieve your goals.
And while Katrina gave up a lot to take the little family in, she says Shariah's can-do attitude is what makes this a success story.
She's smart, she's driven. I just gave her a place to put her roots and to flourish.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring. But in this garden in Darwin, something was not quite right.
You could hear a very faint sort of meowing. So we looked around and we found in the middle of a clump of palm trees a tiny, tiny kitten. He could fit in the palm of your hand.
And Dave's adorable new friend turned out to be perfectly popular when he took to Twitter.
People were very interested in the story of this tiny abandoned kitten on Christmas Eve, lost and alone in the yard. I ended up with 20, 30,000 people who were essentially following Finn.
A star was born and other stars fell into line. Mark Hamill proved the force was with Finn, and Kathy Griffin went so far as to claim him as America's cat.
And so it was really great to then just suddenly be immersed in this wonderful community of people who love cats. You know, there are people who follow Finn who are undergoing chemo or having various challenges, and a lot of them say that Finn cheers them up. It's Finn's house now. He just lets us live here.
You'd be hard-pushed to find someone who doesn't know this girl. But not everyone got to see themselves reflected in their favourite doll growing up.
I think when children don't see dolls that reflect them, it can be heartbreaking and they wonder why.
That all changed today for 26-year-old Maddie, who finally laid her eyes on Barbie's first ever doll with Down syndrome.
Maddie loved the Barbie, and I must say, from a parent's perspective, I am so happy. It's nice for her to finally feel like she's fitting in that world.
It's a move Maddie's family has been championing for years.
We have spoken to Mattel a few times, and it's so wonderful to see it come to fruition. It's just going to be a game changer.
A step in the right direction so that every child in the future feels included.
Even though it's wonderful for the children with Down syndrome to feel like they can now connect with Barbie, it's more important for the rest of society so they can understand and be educated, because only through education can we truly be more inclusive.
Doesn't that feel like a big warm hug? Yeah. All that good news after what's been a pretty heavy week.
Absolutely. I love that story. It's so important, representation. I can't wait for Lebanese Barbie to come out.
Yeah. What would she look like, Suze?
I mean, she'd probably just have slightly hairier legs.
Hope there's a Croatian Barbie too, because I'd be down for that.
You'd be down for that?
Yeah.